want to thank you guys for coming tonight. And for those of you who don't know us, we're actually the sponsors of American Canyon Health Expo. If you've heard of the American Canyon Health Expo, that's one that we put out every year. If you've been to any of our functions in the past, we've offered things like cooking classes, healthy living classes to the community for free. We've talked about cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and importance of rest in our previous workshops, seminars. So this weekend's focus, as you well know, is on stress and depression. So at the end of each night, we would like for you guys to fill out the evaluation that we gave to you guys in the beginning, and feel free to give us your comments and suggestions how we can improve things. And then in your bulletin, which we gave to you today, also, you'll see a section at the bottom. The yellow section is our upcoming events. So if you're interested in any of those, please pre-register. The number is at the bottom, and these are happening on May 2nd, June 6th, and July 1st. So please keep this so you don't forget those upcoming events. If you're interested in any of them, please pre-register. And we hope to see you in our future events as well. And so without further ado, I'm going to have Evelyn come up here and just give a quick health nugget.
Thank you, Carmina. Good evening, everyone. My name is Evelyn, and I'm glad all of you can make it. It's great to see you guys here, because if you're here, then that means you want to do something or you want to learn something, because that's the first step, is getting here, right? So my health nugget is on foods that affect your mood. Is there anyone here that's pregnant? Oh, we have someone in the back that's pregnant? Okay, so did you know that your child in your womb at about 4 months old already developed taste buds? So whatever you're eating, or whatever your mom ate when you were 4 months in the womb, that's what you were eating, right? So we are predisposed to tasting sweet. So we are predisposed to eating sweet and spicy things while you were in the womb. And there have been studies that show babies swallow more amniotic fluid when it tastes sweet than when it tastes sour or bitter. Isn't that interesting? So during the last trimester, babies already have developed a strong sense of taste. So by then, they're swallowing up to 1 liter of amniotic fluid. And this prepares them for breastfeeding. So before you were born, you were already programmed to like sweet. So it's not your fault, right? So are there any foods that you can consume to make you angry? No, right? No, but there are foods that you can eat that can affect your sleeping habits to make you not get a good night rest and result in you being angry and a cranky person with probably road rage the next morning. I don't know. So did you know that having low blood sugar can be related to aggressive behavior? Other foods linked to aggression are sugar, caffeine, alcohol, wheat and milk. So if people are sensitive to allergies, sometimes it could cause inflammation in the brain. MSG and artificial sweeteners, that can also heighten your reactions, including aggressive feelings. Have you ever seen the commercial with the Snickers bar commercial? You've seen that? Where there's a sports player teaching like aerobics or something, and but very irritable. Yeah, that tells you that people in advertising know this, and they use these commercials to manipulate us, right? So a series of studies from the University of Texas have discovered a link between food and mood. They took a group of people who suffered from at least one episode of major depression and did a study eliminating all sugar and other refined carbohydrates and caffeine versus a group that eliminated red meat and artificial sweeteners from their diet. And just after 3 days, there was a significant improvement in the sugar and caffeine-free group. Not only that, but improvement was seen for an entire 3-month follow-up period. So it's not saying that red meat and artificial sweeteners don't affect your mood. It's basically saying that in this comparison, sugar and caffeine have a greater effect on your mood, and it's a definite culprit. So, now, somewhere in my past, I picked up the saying, if it's sweet, it's probably sugar. So when you see all these artificial sweeteners, don't fall for it. I've had a patient whose family wanted to make her happy. So it's difficult seeing your family member in the hospital, so you kind of want to please them and bring them whatever makes them happy. So for this lady, it was Diet Coke and magazines. So she had uncontrolled blood sugars, and the team couldn't figure out what was going on with her. She was not consuming anything from outside, and so what is she consuming? So when we finally put a limit on her Diet Coke, we realized that was the culprit, and after placing that limit, we were able to get a somewhat of a controlled blood sugar. It was still slightly high, but at least we were able to get it under control. And we knew what the problem was. So there's a definite correlation. Also, just keep in mind with artificial sweeteners, it can cause what I call bubble guts. So upset stomach, diarrhea. If ever you experience that kind of stuff, just it could be the aspartame or the phenylalanine. And if you can't say it, maybe it's not good for you. With the caffeine, how long does it stay in your system? It has a half-life of 3 to 5 hours. The half-life is the time it takes for your body to eliminate half of the drug. The remaining caffeine can stay in your body for a long time. Effects can last 8 to 14 hours. So that cup of coffee during the morning can actually last you to evening, right? Food is not just something that fills our stomach. It really has an active biological and chemical effects on your body. The more we avoid these stimulants, like sugar and caffeine, and increase nutrients that go into our bodies, we can avoid those yo-yo effects in our mood. So eating whole grains, protein, vegetables, those will help us keep levels in our levels balanced and help us avoid those yo-yo effects. And the lists are similar. If you look at foods that combat aggression and foods that help our mood, they're almost similar. Nuts, peanuts, walnuts, almonds, pumpkin, and sunflower seeds, green and orange fruits, vegetables, artichokes, spinach, carrots, avocados, peaches, all those sound so good, right? Papayas. At work, we would have potlucks for lunch, and I remember eating a very bitter fruit. And a friend of mine said, think of the nutritional value. So I kind of sucked it up and I forced myself to eat it, but that phrase kind of stuck with me. So prior to eating your meals or preparing your meals, say to yourself, what nutritional value am I getting from this? So our sense of taste may cause us to want to eat foods unhealthy for us, but keep in mind, I can make the choice to eat foods that can help with the way I feel. We live in a time of fixing things with a quick pill, but really, it is being conscientious of what we eat and having foods with nutrients available. Thank you.